It's the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Welcome to another episode here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. It is our mission to try to bring you some news that you can use. Today is no exception to that rule. Follow me on X at the Mike Prince Show. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And do visit our website for our 24-hour stream at obnradio.com. With all that being established, let us jump right into today's episode. Well, the gauntlet has fallen yet again. This time it falls at Grambling State University, where the Grambling State Tigers have decided to part ways with Hugh Jackson. After 2 years of a 4-year deal, they said enough is enough and we can't stand anymore, and they decided to split and go separate ways. Now, the unique thing about how Grambling's situation was set up, although Hugh Jackson signed a 4-year deal, they only guaranteed 2 of those years, which is pretty smart, especially when you're thinking you're not really sure if this person is going to be that one to get you over the hump, and with the price tag that he was bringing on an FCS scale. So they part ways. They don't owe Hugh Jackson anything. And unfortunately, when you're in this type of business, some other staff members were released as well, notably defensive coordinator Cedric Thornton. So it'll be very interesting to see where Coach Thornton lands, because at one time he was being spoken of highly about being the next head coach, but being on the defensive side of things, everybody is looking for that eye candy from the offensive attack. So it brings now to the light 3 official openings for the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Now the Grambling State Tigers, Texas Southern Tigers, and the Southern Jaguars. And depend on who you ask, there were some other rumblings going on in at least 3 other programs. And one of them that is not such a secret is what will happen from Alcorn on the reservation. Coach McNair has gone through his contract. Will they renew that, or will he go on down the road? Then there has been murmurs and grumblings about, believe it or not, University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. That one seems a bit puzzling to me, at least from outside looking in. And there's rumblings in Huntsville, perhaps about Connell Manor. So not that any of those are concrete, but we do know the other 3 are really sketched and etched in stone. So what will come about that right now? And there are so many names that are floating up. We've actually put out a little poll on our X page of the 3 jobs that we know that are available. Which one would be best suited for a coach to come in and start winning right away? Would it be Texas Southern, Southern University, or would it be the Grambling State Tigers? And the last we checked, it wasn't that many that had participated as of yet, but it was at 50-50, Texas Southern and Southern being the better of the 2 jobs available. Very, very interesting on that. Now I am going to, as they say, grind a slight axe, not a major axe, but it is what it is, and that's what all of this is all about in sports in particular. Everyone has an angle, everyone has a viewpoint, and to a degree, everyone makes some sort of sense. Which leads me to the Southwestern Athletic Conference. We made the mention about the all-conference teams the other day, but yesterday it was released for the Coach of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, and the Newcomer of the Year. And no doubt, Coach Willie Simmons was named Offensive Coach of the Year. Now, it was as I say, a clean sweep for FAMU on the offense and defensive side of things, and Texas Southern reserve quarterback, got the newcomer of the year. That was a bit of surprise, but the most baffling one for me was on the offensive player of the year. I do get it and understand that Musa is on the top flight FAMU Rattlers throughout the conference, but when you look at the numbers that young man, Ladarius Owens, put up from Texas Southern, I have to scream highway robbery. Not only did he do it, but he did it with the least, at least on paper, resources as far as team record goes. And I know this is somewhat of a popularity pick, but, you know, if you got the top team and you're the quarterback, then more than likely you're going to get that hardware. But when you look at the body of work that Owens put in, there was no doubt about it that this young man was the best offensive player from top to bottom in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. And I get it. And in the world of political correctness, I would have been okay if they had Cole Player of the Year for the offensive side of things. That's the tremendous impact that this young man had on that squad. And I could honestly say that if you were to just sum this down to a MVP type award, there's no doubt that Owens is, and was probably the only consistent and most valuable player on the Texas Southern staff. And for him not to get that award, it got me scratching my head. But that's neither here nor there. So we do understand, and congratulations to each and every one of the recipients of all of the hardware for the regular season for the 2023 Southwestern Athletic Conference Gridiron. Now, of course, when all the dust has settled, what's going to matter is December 2nd, and we have been giving you the wrong time. It is 2 p.m. Central Time, 3 p.m. Florida time, that the Panthers will be on the road taking on the FAMU Rattlers. And we do know that Prairie View is a mighty, mighty underdog. But there has been a sign that the football gods may be smiling toward Prairie View, and that is in regards of the weather. It is projected that Friday and Saturday there will be constant rain. In fact, it's going to be projected to rain all day Friday and have thunderstorms on Saturday for the most part of the day. Why do I bring that up? Because if that is the case, I would have to give a slight edge to Prairie View when it comes to their rushing attack, even though the Dark Cloud is the number one defense in the nation on the FCS and HBCU circuit. We got all of that. But when we're talking about neutralizing one another, I believe that the Panthers defense is strong enough to handle the rushing attack that FAMU offers. And when you balance that out with the weather, the throwing is going to be at a premium. And I would give the quarterback accuracy edge to Musa and FAMU. But with that weather being a major contributing factor, I think it's going to be very critical for ball possession. Even if it was dry, that would be a key element. But I just think this gives the Panthers somewhat of a balance. And yes, I am on the record. I know that FAMU is the top dog, the big dog, but I am going, call it with my heart, with emotion, that somehow, some way, Prairie View will pull off the upset. How that's going to happen, as a matter of fact, I've even went as far to say that Prairie View will win this championship game by the score of 27-24 with a walk-off field goal attempt. And I'm going to say from roughly about 36 to 43 yards. And Prairie View will win this thing fading into, we can't say the sunset, but into the distant clouds for the projected weather on this coming Saturday. And with all that being established, I do have my top 10 HBCU Division I regular season poll, and we'll kind of run through it real quickly. Number 10, I had Grambling State. Number 9, Southern University. Number 8, Jackson State. Number 7, Tennessee State. Number 6, Alabama State. Forgive me, check that. Number 6, Alcorn State. Number 5, Alabama State. Number 4, North Carolina Central. Number 3, Prairie View. Number 2, Howard. And number 1, the FAMU Rattlers. Now, we based this basically on conference play. We did consider to a degree some of the non-conference games. We based this basically on conference play. So that is our top 10 HBCU Division I poll for the 2023 regular season. Let us know what you guys think about that, and we will, as they say, kick it down the road just a little bit further. In men's hoops, Prairie View will take on Tulane, on tonight. That tip-off will be at 6 o'clock Central Time. See how the Panthers will fare up on that. As far as women's basketball is concerned, Prairie View will not be in action again till December 10th. They lost to Incarnate Word this past week, and they'll be resting up and getting ready to take on their next opponent December the 10th, which will be in Fort Worth, Texas against TCU. I'm about to ease on out of here, but don't forget to go to X and participate in our poll. There's still a little time left for you to figure out which job opening that we know of right now in the Southwestern Athletic Conference would be best suited for a coach to come in, win right away. Texas Southern, Grambling State, or Southern University. My time has come where I must exit stage left. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Thank you guys so much for joining in. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Hit the bell notification, and that way every time we release something new, you will be informed, and you can keep up with what is going on each and every time. So until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.